scourges!
As you command. I am here to lend a helping hand. Welcome to me inn. We've many folk today, but there's always room enough for more. Good to see you again. We've many folk today, but there's always room enough for more.
Ruvia stood by the bridge like a statue, arms crossed, eyes squinting. Meve sighed inside. She stood little chance of having a pleasant chat.
Elder-in-Chief, sir.
No sirring and gracing here, lass. Ploughing humans. Always out to fix things, always end up cocking them up. You think you're due glory, do you? Monster Slayer Meve? Patroness of dwarves? Blasted. What do you think? Why didn't I exterminate those beasts myself, eh? Go on, tell me!
For you.
For I didn't want to. For something didn't fit, damn it. So I resolved to not destroy their nests and evidence till I learned the truth of who done it.
Postponed it all those years expressly. Though your subjects were dying.
I didn't need no lectures from the likes of you. Justice must be served. That's worth any price. And I was close. Had leads. And now, it's all gone to hell. You flooded Devor's abyss. You brought Boros rump down on itself. And I'll never ken who killed the Fuchses. Understand? Never!
My sincere apologies. I did not know.
Course you didn't. Humans. First they cock it up, then they ask how it works. Ah. I'm most eager to give that braid of yours a yank and kick you out beyond the gate. But I canna, for the clans are grateful to you. Fools. Fools. All fools. They forced me to give you an audience, official-like, with witnesses, all at the foot of Mount Carbon. Come on then, time to move on. And I'm going to wring you out so hard you'll wish you never left that Nilfgaardian dungeon.
Bruver set off at a brisk pace, cursing under his breath. The Queen took a deep breath, counted to 5 in her head, and set off after him.
Wanted to hunt monsters, eh? Oh, Elder's furious. Spits flying 10 feet. Let humans neath Carbon. Dinna ken if that's wise. Let humans neath Carbon. Dinna ken if that's wise.
Dwarves demonstrate innovative thinking in many domains. Metallurgy, engineering, architecture. Yet there is one in which they could not be bothered. Naming. For this reason, the bridge that linked the Mahakam Pass with Mount Carbon was simply named Langbridge. Niamh learned it was a thoroughly fitting name. Having stopped for a breath halfway across the road suspended over a deep chasm, the Queen could see neither end of the bridge, both concealed by thick clouds.
Amazing,
whispered the Queen.
I feel as though we traversed the very sky.
The Queen and her retinue were nearing Mount Carbon when Niamh heard a cry. It was Xavier.
Hold! Hold!
Niamh drew in her reins abruptly. Her mare neighed and reared, lifting the Queen above her formation of men. From that height she saw the last pier of the bridge crumbling. The dwarves at the head of the procession were unable to stop in time and plummeted screaming into the abyss.
What's the meaning of this, gods damn it?
Bruver roared.
Face the engineers! No!
The Queen was striving to calm her spooked mount when she sensed something swish past her ear. Out of nowhere, a Scoia'tael band had appeared at the rear of the column. Before anyone could react, elven archers had felled the rear guard. The soldiers lay on the bridge's stone surface with arrows in their backs. Niamh was trapped. In one direction lay the chasm, in the other, a fierce foe. She had no choice but to stand and fight.
Last, Renna! You are mine!
We trapped you, Grace, but we can try and fight our way through.
Nay, Dwan they camest.
What is the poison?
Special prize, just for you, love.
think you ballbags can do whatever the devils you please? This is Mahakam!
Show me the coin or sod off.
Sod it. Sod it all.
None shall tread on us!
One bullet's all I need.
Ryan!
Give me a target.
Your tricks will not save you, Dwarf.
Let us sing the Song of Steel!
So much anger and suffering. For what?
No! Blederenna! She must die!
Their strength combined, the Lyrians and dwarves managed to defeat the Scoia'tael. The guerrillas had weakened the last span of the bridge, turning the crossing into a deadly trap. Had Xavier, who noticed the weakened structure at the last instant, not called out, all would have fallen into the chasm. The Lyrians managed to capture the unit commander. She stood, her head raised high, and when Meve glared at her, she did not avert her eyes.
What is your name, elf?
Abayeth me parstwan.
She said,
Thank you, Reynard. I know well what she said. Kiss my arse, is that truly the best you can muster?
I'd rather show you exactly what I can muster. Tell them to unbind me.
You got your opportunity. On the battlefield. Will you not tell me what they call you?
No one. It was my decision to kill you, and thus avenge Eldain. Do you remember him? The elf whom you denied a burial? Whom you left in an open field to rot? You've elven blood on your hands. The blood of the elves of the Moulderwood.
Eldain was a criminal. He got what he deserved.
You call him a criminal? What do you call humans who murder our kind in pogroms? Who massacre us? What do you call Black Rayla who fought at your side?
Do not dare compare us! Do not dare!
Enough. I've heard all I wish to hear.
But I haven't. Did you fall in your heed, elf, eh? If you want to fight humans, go on and do it. You cannot talk sense to idiots that nae here, damn it. Mahakam is and will be neutral.
You cannot be neutral. To Dwan, you are either their foe or their dog. Mahakam has stood aside sleeping long enough. That is why we struck it in its very heart. As a call to battle. A call to brethren whom you, Elder, have kept from the world too long.
I have kept him away. I've been bloody right to do so. You want to play at war, you numpties? You want to force the Pontar to flow upstream? Gang right ahead. Good riddance, I say. Gan kill, gan die if you fancy. But God's damn it, leave us alone. Yeah, I should kill you. With my own hands. I should cut your throat, put you out of your misery. That's what you want, innit? To die? To die a stupid death? Well, I'll not grant you that. Nay, nay, I'll lock you in a tower. Sit there 3 centuries, and you just might grow a brain.
Bruva Hoog gazed after the shackled elf as she was led away. Meve expected him to continue fuming, cursing her. But the dwarf stood silent. And his old eyes, half concealed by brows bushy as a forest floor, showed not anger, but the deepest sadness. Dwarven engineers made quick work of repairing the crumbled bridge span.
Look, Mount Carbon.
Damn! And I thought Novigrad was big.
So the elves are against us. Against our elder. Treacherous hounds. Truth be told, I supported the Scoia Telefor. No, I wish every last one of them dead. Dead! Long-eared bastards. Raising our own saplings against us in rebellion. Sowing unrest. Violence. In the mountains. Truth be told, I supported the Scoia Telefor. No, I wish every last one of them dead. Dead.
The Lyrians stepped inside Mount Carbon's bowels. Meve rode while looking upwards, admiring the intricately carved ceiling, gilded walls, monumental bas-reliefs carved from basalt. Yet this was no time to admire the sights. Bruva Hoog had summoned her to speak.
I thank you for your invitation, Elder.
My invitation? Choice term, lass. You wangled your way in here. Long I've lived, but ne'er have I seen a wench so stubborn.
With all due respect, do you not feel like a pot conversing with a kettle?
Ha! True enough. Changes of mind didn't come easy to me, but they do come at times. Human wars concern me not at all. For so many they are, who could count them? Near a year goes by without one wanking king invading another's realm. A dog with scabies is less restless. That's why, this morning, I aimed to send you off with nothing. Mattered not what the clans were saying. Rivia, Schmivia, who gives a sheep's fart? But that was this morn, before that daft wench and her pups attacked. Nilfgaard supports the Scoia'tael, it's common knowledge. Nilfgaard uses them. Well, I'm nae worse, and I choose to use Queen Meve.
So what use would you make of me, if I might ask? You've a plan?
Aye, the kind dwarves like best. Simple, but sneaky. Like to give Nilfgaard a warning, you ken. If you're going to rile my dwarves, throw 'em into the Scoia'tael ranks. You'll regret it, aye? But I'd like to issue the warning without declaring war. All clear to you so far? So, when you march out of Mahakam, you'll find a company of our foot dwarves waiting out with the gate. Officially, volunteers enlisting with you against my will. And you're to put them at the fore next time you face Nilfgaard. Want the Blackclads to break their teeth on our bucklers, get a taste of our axe blades. After that, dare say they'll think twice before they send more Scoia'tael into these hells.
I do not... Thank you, Elder. You restore my hope that I shall have my home back in the end.
Candid like, I dinna share your faith. I've watched you. You're naive. Let ire take you. Meddle in matters near your own. Disrespect our custom. But you win or nay, it's all the same to me.
Then I hope that I shall at least surprise you.
Honestly doubt that. So you'll only get the bare minimum recruits to make the Imperials take note. And nae a dwarf more.
And for that I am grateful. But now, I would like to march at once. So by your leave...
Go, rides! Now if you can! Quicker you get out of our mount, the better!
Without waiting for Meave's reply, Bruver turned his back to her. The Queen left without saying a word. There were few choice ones burned on her lips. Meave was on her way back to her company when who should step in front of her if not Gabor?
To what do I owe this pleasure? Do the Zigrins wish to use me once more? Accomplish aught else with my aid?
Could be, but if so, tain't none of my concern.
Why's that?
But I've resolved to leave Mahakam for all time.
And where will you go?
Then again, wherever you lead me.
I beg your pardon.
Your Grace, Meave, I betrayed your trust, tricked you outright. In spite of that, you kept my confidence, risking everything. To say I'm grateful is just a wee understatement. I'm indebted to you, deeply so. Please let me pay it off. Let me fight at your side, head to hip with you.
Gabor, vindictive I am not.
Oh, thank you, Meave.
Yet neither am I stupid. You may join our ranks, I agree. Yet trick me once more, in the tiniest manner, and I shall show you no mercy. Is that clear?
Chastened, Gabor merely nodded to confirm. Meave extended her hand for the dwarf to kiss as a sign of submission. Yet he simply wrapped his arms around her waist and squeezed. The Lyrians were ready to leave Mahakam when they heard the sonorous blast of a commander's horn announcing the arrival of Bruver Hoog.
Oh, what does he want now?
When she saw a sour grin on his face, Meave knew the tidings were not good. But what she heard next exceeded her wildest expectations.
Come to say farewell? No need, truly.
Came 'cause I got a burning question. Meave, you expecting anyone?
How's that?
Runner says a delegation's arrived at Carmen. Frae Lyria and Rivia. Got a Nilfgaardian escort.
How dare they? Traitors. Who leads it?
You best sit.
Who leads the delegation?
It's your son. Willem, I fear.
Willem?
Mahakam remains neutral as regards all your squabbles. I trust I needn't remind you. So I'll have no scrambling nor shoving, and certainly no bloodshed. Point of fact, I'd prefer it if you...
I wish to speak to him.
I'd forbid you, but, as I said, never seen a more stubborn wench. Alrighty then, jabber away with him. Just remember, hands to yourself.
Meve spotted banners, a Lyrian eagle upon one surrounded by Nilfgaard's black rags. Her hands became fists, showing how helpless she felt. Then her son and rival, Willem, emerged from behind a row of Imperial footmen.
My. I should apologize. It seems I missed the coronation. Congratulations, my son. Who was it who placed the crown? General Epdahi?
Count Caldwell.
Ah, yes. Our elder statesman. Why have you come here, of all places? To acquire arms for Nilfgaard?
As my official mission, yes. Yet unofficially, I wish to speak with you. I trust you've had tidings from the field. Edirn turned to ash and dust. Vizimir murdered Redania in chaos. Foltest forced to strike a pact, by his vassals betrayed, Henselt the same.
This limerick, will it come to a point?
Why, yes. To the same as this war. Mother, I beg you, you must see it. Nilfgaard's victory is inevitable. Surrender now, and I shall show you mercy. For later it'll be too late.
There will be no later. We shall repel them, drive them south at the points of our pikes.
This we, Mother? Who precisely do you mean? You stand alone.
I prefer to stand alone over standing with Nilfgaard, with the invader, as you do.
Mother, in declaring for the Empire, I saved the lives of thousands of our subjects.
And in so doing, our honor lost!
Folk who had their huts burned down care deeply about our honor. Is that truly your belief? When I was crowned, a fact you deride, though that makes it no less true, I swore the good of my subjects would guide me. And a war we are doomed to lose cannot in any way benefit them.
And slavery can. You know well the Blackclads put peasants in chains, like cattle.
Reprehensible, I agree, but...
And resettlement? Forced labor? Cruel laws that make death the punishment for the slightest offenses? Are those benefits? Well, answer me!
I see I will not sway you, Mother. A shame, though I take comfort in the fact I tried. And now, adieu.
Oh no, I, not you, will decide when this conversation is over.
Oh, have we anything else to discuss?
Are you perhaps aware that the Nilfgaardians tried to kill me?
What? No, I heard only about an avalanche.
Which tumbled down through no small effort of an Imperial envoy.
Never would I have agreed to such a heinous act.
I believe you.
I'm heartened that, despite all
I believe you because I believe the Nilfgaardians wouldn't ever have asked your opinion. Think on it, son. Are you their ally or their tool? Can you ever be sure?
I am the King of Lyria and Rivia. To serve my subjects' best interests, I am prepared to make even the most painful concessions. Might I leave now? Or is there more?
Naturally. How did you know you would find me here?
I received Nilfgaardian reports to the effect that you've been seen in the past.
Oh, roses are red and so are your cheeks, my son. As ever when you're caught in a lie. Lyria is 2 weeks' travel hence. Had you received word only once I was here, we'd have been long gone from Mahakam by the time you assembled a force and completed the march. No. You were forewarned of our intended route. It means I've a traitor in my ranks. Another one. Get out of my sight, villain. And pray we only ever face one another on neutral ground.
Meve struggled inside not to turn and gaze once more at her son. He'd changed since they'd last faced each other, grown manlier, and he wore the crown well. The Queen returned to her company. Her advisors shot her questioning glances, curious what she had discussed with Bruver. But Meve decided to keep the details to herself. One of them wore a Nilfgaardian lead around his neck. Until she knew who, she would have to remain vigilant.
Time to march on. But in which direction?
I've thought on it, Your Grace. We've strength enough to hit the foe, but still not the numbers to face him in open battle.
So what do you propose?
This war we cannot win alone, nor even with the dwarves at our side. But if we secure a victory, small yet symbolic, we shall show the other realms of the north all is not yet lost. Thus, I propose we attack behind the front lines, somewhere well clear of any major Imperial force.
Where would you suggest?
I'm considering Angren. To begin with, a thickly wooded marshy land, always helpful in clandestine operations. Secondly, the land's strategically important, as it's the chief source of building material for Nilfgaard's fleets.
All too little, I fear. Since we require a victory that would be symbolic, we must strike where it shall hurt. And Angren
just recently welcomed a new regent, in the person of Count Coldwell, my third argument. Naturally, if your Majesty wishes, I'm prepared to present alternatives to this.
No need. We march at dawn.
Reeve had toiled, cajoled, persuaded, and gained the dwarves' support. She left Mahakam strengthened, markedly. Even so, the Queen was in a foul mood. For it was clear a traitor, a viper, nested among the Lyrians. Someone who had conveyed the Queen's plans to her foe. From this moment on, Niamh would need to weigh every word she uttered, even in the presence of her closest associates.
Your Grace, we must plot our course forward. Shall we take the western passage into Angren, or...
Not now.
When, then? Dawn approaches, yet we know nothing of where...
I will not repeat myself.
The Queen knew she would learn the traitor's identity in the end. If need be, she would tear the name from the throat of another turncoat, Count Coldwell. Niamh drooled at the prospect of seeing Coldwell in chains, then passing him to the hangman.
Saddle the horses. I shall take the fore.
The time for diplomacy, for preparations and negotiations had gone. Niamh was to attack her foe at last, and she could not wait to do so. At long last, Niamh's force reached Angren's marshy woods. Ever been? No? Count yourselves lucky.
Are you certain we haven't lost our way?
Alas, here there is no way. We continue south, that's all.
South meaning the bottom.
Should you ever venture there, I offer you this advice. Do your utmost to make no noise. Poor soul. His comrades cried out, reached out, but alas, amidst frothing waters they heard bones cracking, the moan of metal bent and crushed.
What the bloody hell, what was that?
Rather not know, personally.
Hold your positions! Arms at the ready!
It was a glusty war. One of many the Lyrians would encounter along their path. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. At last, Niamh and her force stood upon the Yaruga's bank. To find and punish the traitor Coldwell, they would have to cross the river. Yet the sole bridge nearby was in Nilfgaard's hands.
Your Majesty, some new reports require your attention.
Hidden among brambles, Meve watched the Nilfgaardian sentries atop the palisade. In full gear, alert in stance, they looked sharp and ready to defend the stronghold.
Blast!
Meve hissed, for she now knew Red Lobendon would not fall by surprise. A siege would be needed, and it would slow her advance. Yet there was naught she could do, as this was her one road to Angren and to Caldwell. Reynard wiped the sweat from his brow, donned his helmet, and dropped his visor with a tap.
On your command, Your Majesty.
Very well. We mustn't delay. Reynard, our plan of attack. Armoured infantry to lead and take the first salvo upon their breast, scaling ladders to follow. Afterwards...
Masterful. Truly masterful.
Interrupted Gascon.
Yet, despite the mastery, fit to be improved.
How, namely?
Hold back your force. Lie in waiting. I'll take 10 good men and open the gates for you. Wide.
And how do you aim to achieve this?
Asked Reynard.
Knock and claim to be a trinket peddler, I suppose. Or perhaps one of Lebioda's devout disciples.
Must you know every last detail? Where's the fun in that, sir?
There's none in warfare. Never.
Seethed Reynard.
The war is no farce. Your Majesty, he stands no chance. Not the slightest.
None at all, I concur. Yet his eagerness intrigues. Let's see what he can do.
Reynard did not approve of Meve's decision, this was clear. Yet he dared not undermine it. The Queen's blessing now his, Gascon assembled a small force and set off, straight for the stronghold gate.
Lambs to the slaughter,
muttered Reynard, shaking his head.
My Queen, it's not too late. We can always...
Shh! Look.
Already at the gate, Gascon lifted his arm in a gesture of peace, then merrily bantered a bit with the guards. A moment later, the gates jerked into motion.
But how?
No matter. The gate stands open. We must attack.
Meve raced off towards the fortress without even glancing back. She knew well her soldiers would follow.
The strays have come to play!
I smell a leak.
You mad? Don't say that!
My boots got sand aplenty in them.
Hammer won't say.
Left, right, left, right.
Your humble servant.
This could hurt. We'll catch 'em all! Praise be to the great sun!
Again and again and again.
Notice! All roads lead to Nilfgaard! Lyria!
Cursed traitors.
One bullet's all I need. Give me a time.
Discipline. That is what you folk lack.
One red Lobington for you, my lady. Compliments of the house.
Gascon seemed a fiend as he fought his way to the keep, then single-handedly killed the commander. Suddenly leaderless, the Nilfgaardians laid down their arms.
My, Gascon. Colour me surprised.
Pleasantly so, I trust.
Don't fish for compliments, it doesn't suit you. Besides, you know you deserve both medal and title.
I shall hold you to it, my queen.
In due course. But I must know how. What ruse persuaded the Nilfgaardians to open the gate?
Come, my delightful charms, no ruse.
Oh, I see. Not one to share secrets.
Unremarkable, as I see it. I'd hold my tongue too, were my conscience thus burdened.
I've done naught to hide my shameful past, friend. I was a brigand, indeed, yet...
Do not dare take me for a fool. You know of what I speak.
Yet I don't. Reynard, what is this? What the devils is with you?
Your Grace, in Mahakam, the Nilfgaardian letter we managed to intercept. Consider your offer accepted. Direct Meve and her force to the agreed site. We await their arrival. Your reward shall be as agreed. 'Twas Gascon who told us Caldwell had received Angren to rule. 'Twas Gascon who suggested we ride for Lobendon. Here, the Blackclads willingly opened the gate, for they expected him to deliver a prisoner. You!
Yes. I might have expected as much. When captive, I asked you why you'd chosen to aid me. Your answer was odd and unconvincing.
Meve!
It's your majesty, you rogue.
What do they promise you? Amnesty? Coin in heaps?
Both. I knew Nilfgaard wouldn't parley with me as a matter of course. To be treated seriously, I needed something they valued. A stroke of luck, it was, the chance to free you from Caldwell's grip. 'Twas in Edern that we first spoke. Then came to an understanding after Rosberg's fall.
Why do I still live then? Why not snatch me under Knight's mantle, drag me to Red Lobendon in chains?
Leave. I sought to sell you out, I did, and aimed to gain by it. Yet in Edern, you earned my respect. In Mahakam, my admiration. I swore then I wouldn't follow the terms of the accord I'd made. Instead, I'd let you into the fort, and make damn sure the Commandant couldn't reveal the truth. Alas, seems I underestimated Reynard.
Flattery will get you knout. You, sir, are a traitor.
Ah, please, friend. You appear to me a pot that calls the kettle black.
Reynard? What does he mean?
I've no notion, your grace. Not the slightest.
Truly? Ha! And I had you pegged for a man of honor. Come now, Reynard. Who sent secret missives to Willem? Go on, you really should tell your queen.
What? Reynard?
His Highness guest chambers in Mahakam. One of my lads snuck in. Found a letter bearing the signature of one Reynard Odo.
Reynard, I beg you. Say it's not so. Tell me it's a filthy lie.
Your grace. I'd hoped his highness and you would reconcile. To see son stand against mother rent my heart. I wish to help.
Behind my back.
Your Majesty, I sought merely to push the youth to see reason. To open his eyes.
So say you now. Yet I can't know what was in the letters. I can't know what pacts you made. And alas, I can no longer take you at your word.
I'm not alone in having deceived. Yet I am in repairing my wrong.
Meve felt a tempest rise inside her. Yet she could not release it lest it cloud her view. She would solve the problem, strike it from her mind, and resume her journey at once.
Drawn and quartered I should have you both. Yet in truth, I cannot do without your aid. Now more than ever. 'Tis the one reason I show mercy and forgive.
Your grace, perhaps made with doubt, but 'tis the right decision. I shall prove it. Thank you.
Reynard and I rarely see eye to eye, but under the circumstances, I second his every word.
Oh, shut your damn traps! And I believe you're needed in the wagon train. Now!
The Queen's wish was clear and fierce. Gascon and Reynard slid off, leaving Niamh to her thoughts. From the palisade's rampart, Niamh gazed out over the marshlands across the Iruga. The Queen sighed deeply. She expected great challenges in Angren. She had also expected, even hoped, to find the one traitor in her midst. But two, and both her close aides-de-camp. She felt a weight upon her heart now.
Blast it all.
She muttered.
Not the first dagger I've taken in the back. Likely not the last either. Yet to pity my lot will help not at all.
From the captive Nilfgaardians, Niamh learned Caldwell was at Tuzla Castle, in Angren's very heart. A small detachment would remain at Red Lobindon, while the Queen with the rest of her force set off to face the treacherous Count.
Mom, I must speak to you when you find a free moment.
I'll keep a close eye on him, Mom. Don't you fret. I'll keep a close eye on him, Mom. Don't you fret.
Savarut, Nordling, Netamar! Godef me, sir!
I'll keep a close eye on him, Mom. Don't you fret.
No two ways to it. Charming this county the Blackclads granted Caldwell to rape.
Yes, a gift so lovely Caldwell could not refuse.
Quarreled.
Caldwell wished to rule by Willem's hand, and by his claim. Of little benefit to Nilfgaard, so the general disapproved.
As do I. By all means.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Left, right, left, right.
We'll catch 'em all!
Armor won't say.
The chase is on!
One vote's all I need.
Again and again and again. An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Sod it all. Don't like this.
Left, right, left, right.
Yeah, yeah!
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs.
Watch your heads!
Give me a time.
Our ballista, your command.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Catch! Yeah, yeah!
Left, right, left, right.
We'll catch 'em all!
Don't like this. Give me a target.
Again and again and again.
Cursed traitors.
Stop your yapping and start digging.
The chase is on!
Our ballista, your command. Armor won't serve.
It's not too late to walk away.
Arbalest at your command. Armor won't say. One boat's all I need. Give me a time.
The chase is on!
Left, right, left, right.
Give me a target.
Don't like this.
Should've listened to me, old lady.
Again and again and again.
Arbalist at your command.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Watch your heads!
Stop your yapping and start digging.
We'll catch 'em all!
Catch!
So much anger and suffering. For what?
Armor won't say.
The Lyrians came to a crossroads. As Meve and her scouts conferred about the proper path to take, a footman, of a sudden, collapsed upon the muddy ground. His comrades strove to rouse him. Alas, to no avail. Meve called for a medic. One arrived post-haste. He checked for wounds, a heartbeat, all else for which a medic checks. Then he peered down the soldier's throat. In a flash, he was on his feet, his hand over his mouth, backing away.
What's with him? What's wrong?
The Queen asked, her eyes darting between the medic and his patient.
Typhus exanthematicus, Your Grace.
Replied the physician, wiping his hands with a spirit-soaked cloth.
Typhus fever.
Contagious?
Extremely, I fear. Though not yet at this stage. The spots are but in his mouth for now. Tomorrow he'll be blotched all over. It's then the disease turns infectious.
I see. What about a cure? Is one known?
The medic looked at Meve, shook his head and shrugged. Alas, there was precisely naught he could do. But where medicine fails, magic may at times stand in. Without giving it two thoughts, Meve called for Isbel.
It's typhus, I've no doubt.
The healer confirmed.
I know a spell that could be helpful. Vital's cleansing, we call it. It takes time to prepare and many ingredients. Rather costly, or...
Coin's no object,
said Meve.
Get to work at once.
Isbel returned from the local herbalist with herbs valuable and rare. Fern blossoms, mandrake root, comfrey seeds, and more. She then pulled from her bundle a variety of vessels, funnels, retorts, alembics, carafes. Colored concoctions she then brewed, steam and strange odors rising from them. Hours later, after much effort, she had a few drops of a thick substance in a flask. Isbel whispered an incantation, then gave the remedy to the dying man. His tremors and fever subsided at once, the other symptoms fading within hours. At last, Meve could breathe a deep sigh of relief.
Tis a land of monsters. Belongs to them, it does. Human folk are naught but guests here.
war you want, then war you shall have! For Lyria and Rivia! For the north! The morrow shall bring a better day.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
One boat. Give me a target.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Our ballista, your command.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Armor won't say.
It's war you want, then war you shall have!
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away. Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
One boat's all I need. Give me a target.
Beware, my lady. Watch out for leeches especially. They'll slip in your knickers, give them half a chance.
For no visible reason, the Lyrian column came to a halt. Neve stood in her stirrups in a bid to see the cause. Something had blocked the way, it seemed. Something large. A tree felled by a storm, or an abandoned wagon, the Queen thought. Neither was true. A boulder huge as a barn lay in their path. Footmen had slung ropes around it, planted their feet, and now sought to pull it aside. Did not budge an inch.
Perhaps I could assist you.
Neve turned in her saddle on hearing the voice. Several travelers in faded robes warily crept from the trees. A young woman with long, light-colored hair led the way.
You don't much resemble a rock troll,
said the Queen, eyeing the slender stranger skeptically.
but go on, do try.
The fair-haired lass crouched beside the stone, closed her eyes, and began to whisper. Horses whinnied and tugged at their reins. A hound howled in the distance. And then, the boulder rolled to the side like an apple across the deck of a boat rocked by seas.
Who are you? Do tell.
A druid,
Came her calm response.
this stone. It stood in our circle.
The woman silently turned toward the wood. Neve followed her gaze, and among the trees saw other large stones, cracked and scorched.
What happened here?
We refused the Nilfgaardians' aid,
Answered the druid.
so they raised our shrines. Though, perhaps it's a blessing.
A blessing? How so?
A darkness fell upon Angren a time past, and it grows. The forest turns savage, its creatures drunk on blood. Folk have come to worship other cruel gods. It's time we abandoned this land forsaken and went south, to Kedmerkvid.
Our path leads south too, though not as far.
Said the Queen.
Do join us. Given the times, there's safety in numbers.
The druids agreed, and were grateful. They walked at the rear of the column, muttering prayers, their faces concealed beneath hoods.
We'll catch 'em all! The chase is on!
again and again and again.
So much anger and suffering. For what?
Cursed traitors.
Watch your heads!
An army's a waste of time for one like me. Left, right, left, right.
Catch!
Sod it all.
One boat I need. I smell a leak.
Sod it. Sod it all.
We'll catch 'em all! The chase is on!
It's gonna be a right good levy, big and beautiful.
Army's a waste of time for one like me. Left, right, left, right.
Don't like this.
Again and again and again.
Ballista, your command.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
I'm a monster.
Stop your yapping and start digging.
This could hurt.
One boat's all I need.
Angren lies thousands of leagues from the sea. Yet the Imperial fleet looked chiefly to this land for wood, its ashes and oaks ideal for shipbuilding. The lumber was driven down the Yaruga to shipyards in Sintra and Atra. There, day and night, Nilfgaard's fleet grew and grew. So when Meve heard axes steadily hacking, the continual grind of saws, she halted her force and quickly dispatched scouts. Indeed, they found a lumber camp, banners overhead, the great sun blazing upon them. Though not critical to her mission, Meve was nonetheless tempted to disrupt the invader however she could.
The Emperor awaits a mass flow of logs,
called the Queen, drawing her sword.
But we shall send him corpses! Formation! Follow me!
When the Lyrians rushed forth with a cry on their lips, the lumberjacks dropped their axes. Their black-clad guards, though likewise surprised, formed up and stood ready for battle.
Essaytu Navin! Lyria!
We'll catch them all!
Enlantreit!
Watch your heads! Catch!
Angren's gold is not yours to plunder. Begone!
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Fight for the Emperor and you might be freed! To work!
So much anger and suffering. For what?
Obedience or the lash!
Larvat! Essaytu Navin! Lyria!
Enlantreit! I smell a leak.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Angren's gold is not yours to plunder. Begone!
Fight for the Emperor and you might be freed!
Left, right, left, right.
To work! Essaytu Navin! Lyria!
Then retreat!
Left, right, left, right.
Watch your heads!
Cursed traitors.
Our ballista, your command.
Angren's gold is not yours to plunder. Begone!
Obedience or the lash! Back in line!
So much anger and suffering. For what?
Move!
I'm a boss.
Again and again and again.
Ha! This one's got spirit.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
We'll catch them all! Don't you worry yourself, the Grace. We'll get it done in no time. Larvat! Ascentu Navin! Lyria! Watch your heads! Nilfgaard! We'll catch them all!
Left, right, left, right.
Angren's gold is not yours to plunder. Begone!
Arbalest to your command.
Cursed traitors.
I'm a one, sir.
Catch! Fight for the Emperor and you might be freed! Lyria! To work! The chase is on! That will do.
Nilfgaard's ranks folded. Soldiers fled in fright, stumbling over felled trees and corpses.
The spread rebellion! Retreat!
The air was heavy with the scent of resin and blood. As she caught her breath, the queen looked about. Hundreds of trees lay cut down in rows. Oak and ash enough to keep the shipyards working till winter. Niamh ordered the lumber requisitioned, yet one of the loggers approached her. A man with a face like old leather, sawdust in his hair.
Good lady, I know you war hard against Nilfgaard. I know you'd keep timber out of their hands, but then see, we won't get paid. We'll see no coin till Sintra's shipyards see lumber. It's what the Blackclads said. I beg you, have mercy. We're simple folk. Been slaving since spring, got families to feed. And hunger looms ever close in wartime.
Niamh looked at the logger's hands. Thick scars, crisscrossed fingers twisted by years of axe work.
This wood I cannot allow to reach Nilfgaardian shipyards,
she said.
Yet neither can I let you go hungry. I shall take the wood and pay you from my own purse.
You've a big heart, my lady. Not many folk like you, especially not in Angren. A land bedevilled in many ways. Got blisters on me hands from all this work. Weren't enough the corns on me feet, ye gods. Never ends, I tell you. We'll never finish this blasted work. Work, work, work. And do I see anything from it? Even a measly bloody crumb?